we have another preview. Yes, another preview. I feel like we just did one because we just did one with the newly released Broly and Gogeta cards. If you haven't checked that video out, go check it out. Also subscribe, especially if you've been watching these previews and you haven't subscribed already. You are crazy for not doing that. But this is a little bit different, as I say before. It might be a little quick, might not be, but I kind of ramble on. Either way, the first two, or the only two really here, are changes to the prize format going into, I believe, March, and the limited series tournament that features all new cards. But I really want to go through this one first, only because it is kind of a good change in introducing reprints with an alternative style, and they actually release all of the cards down here. But before I do that, let's go and go through the text and kind of summarize this. So they're basically thanking for playing the Dragon Ball Super card game, which is always nice. They're always so polite. They're making a few changes to the format and prize structure with the release of Series 6 in March. So if we didn't know, again, January has Clash of Fates, which is the third theme booster, and in March we have Series 6 or Set 6, whatever you want to call it, which features the DBS Broly movie sort of whole deep thematic set anyway, and which is you know, the actual release for a set. So the updated details are basically for the series tournaments. They're going to be redoing the prize lineup starting with Series 6. So basically the updated one is that you do get a tournament pack. So Series 6 tournament packs, right? That's no problem. Top placer prize, which means tournament packs depending on how many you actually have at the locals or whoever played during that time. It really depends on your actual store. I can't say how many packs that you'll get, and that's why Bandai doesn't say how many packs you get. But the major change here is that first and second place will be getting tournament pack accessories, which I don't think they actually say here. I'll kind of go through everything to make sure I don't miss anything. Most likely deck boxes, or like the little like holders. Like we have the Janemba and the Gogeta one now. If you haven't been to your locals, or if you haven't won first and second place, I'm not throwing shade, but if you've seen it, literally it has Janemba and as well as Gogeta on the deck boxes, and they're actually pretty cool. They're a little tiny, but they're pretty cool. And they're also giving out the one out of two alternative style prints. So most likely they're gonna be two different styles of reprints, and we're gonna go over the cards in a little bit. The other thing is that to focus, or this is what they're saying, BCC battles, basically, if you didn't know, again, Budokai Card Club is the whole tournament sector, the space in which the tournaments are based on, and it's saying to focus on the series tournaments. We'll offer updated pricing support starting in March. It doesn't say when, but most likely after Set 6 drops, and then we're retiring BCC battle tournaments on April 30th 2019, next year. So I'm thinking that the BCC battle tournaments will go away, and then something else will be reintroduced into that. They're saying we hope that you're excited about the new changes as we are. Period. No exclamation mark. Yeah, I'm excited, man. That hypes me up right there. Shop championship in response to the positive reception for the sneak peek party events, which were actually pretty cool. And, you know, for the starter deck release and all that, it's not bad. It was a good time. We'll be offering them in the future for updated pre-release tournaments. Cool. So that's nice. Release tournament official tournament packs. What we were once offered as participant prices, but will exclusively be only offered at series tournaments going forward. So this is cool, because I do believe what they mean is that even if you go to regionals, even if you go to a certain event, even if you go somewhere else, they're only going to be at series tournaments instead. So does this mean that like the BCC tournaments, like the regular locals that you go to, no longer have tournament packs? I don't know. I think it says here, as such, we'll be offering Event Pack 3 as participation prices, and then you can find the card list for the Event Pack 3 below, which includes key cards for the current meta. Now, the Event Pack 3 is different from the Event Pack 2, which is Event Pack 1 are the golden cards, as I understand. Event Pack 2 are the green Shenron sort of shiny ones in the background. Okay, I didn't want to talk on my ass, so you can see here the event pack 1, the first event pack, it doesn't say 1 because it was literally the first one, has all these cards, which are really cool. These are probably my favorite ones. I haven't seen the third one, but over the green golden, or the green Shenron background, these are my preferred ones. And you know I already have a playset of these bad boys. And then these are the Event Pack 2, or yeah, Event Pack 2 with all of the more relevant cards. They're getting closer and closer with like these 3 over here. Probably not as relevant as you might think, but definitely in the Go 10. And these are alright. You know, they come in foil and they're nice. But for the Event Pack 3, which now that I am confusing with it, now I realize that I don't think they actually say which one has the alternative style reprints yet. I think these are actually just the Event Pack 3. I think these are completely separate. So if someone knows a little bit better or knows better than me, let me know. But that's how I'm interpreting it. But the Event Pack 3 has a lot of cards that actually are in use right now. Just like it says, they're more, where does it says? Current meta. So that's nice. Even if it's not current meta, any of these sort of cards in playsets or just in collecting in general are still really cool. Things that kind of jump out at me are the Dragon Balls. These are going to be really good looking in an Event Pack sort of style. And then Growing Evil Lifeform style, obviously that's going to be a really good get. I'm going to love getting that. An SR card and a Series 6 booster. So it doesn't say which one. If we maybe look this up, I looked it up, it didn't really come up with anything. The actual card number isn't released yet, so we don't know. So that just makes sense. Anyway, Frieza's Call, so that's kind of a random one. Haro, that's awesome. Intensifying Power Trunks, that's awesome. I love the Boma. I don't know if I said that already, but Objection getting a reprint, that's interesting. Senzu Bean's not getting one, but Objection is, so alright, I'll go with that. Banisher Fu, which is awesome, and then Dark Power Black Mass Sand, which is getting more and more play as the meta goes along. Tournament schedules here in which they're kind of saying like, hey, this is the volume 6 of BCC battles. So the volume 7, that is the volume, well, it doesn't say the volume here, so why do they say it's retiring? This is kind of confusing now. Oh well, I don't really know. I guess it's the Series 6 tournament. That's what it is. So okay, now I got it right. So the BCC battles, the regular ones that come with the BCC kits, in locals, they still have those kits in for that. And then the Series 6 tournament, as in the next series of a Series 7 or whatever into the next sort of set, will be Series 7 tournament, and etc, etc. So I think that's exactly what's happening here, in which these start in March and then they kind of overlap for those for everybody to kind of use their kits and stop shipping them out. And then back in May is the only thing, or Series 6 is the only thing that it's going to be in May. Okay, now I understand. That's pretty much it for that. These are all the dates. There you go. Speaking of BCC battles for the Volume 7 starting in February, it's got to come up pretty damn quick. We're already in December and we're going through sets like it's nothing, burning through them, but the game is still awesome. This one's pretty interesting because this one is a 4-drop. I think it will actually show us, and it doesn't really matter, we can kind of see it here. It's a 4-drop, 1 cost 10k, which is kind of punishing you for having it in your hand anyway, but it's also really nice to have a 10k combo sometimes anyway, just depending on how your deck is built. This is Surprise Attack Frieza. It is Frieza's army with Frieza Clan, and this is a really good target for swinging for 15k, which isn't much, but still for their permanent it is pretty cool, because the auto is activate this skill when your opponent's card is KO'd. If this card is not in play in your battle area, you may play this card from your hand. So there's a lot of different things that or a lot of different people saying that you have to pay the cost in order to do this, but you also have to understand the difference between counter plays, or playing a card via counter like Topo, or like the new Goku, the 2-drop yellow, and then the auto plays in which something like Shigesh, where it says choose up to 1 Saiyan in your hand with an energy cost of 3 or less and play it. So unless it says pay the cost, it does not specify to pay the cost. So same thing, you just play it, literally the same thing. Another example is Abrupt Breakthrough Goku, where 5 costs is removed from the battle by a player's skill. If you have no cards in your battle area, you can play this card from your hand. Again, you don't pay the cost. It's the same exact thing. Another example, would you play this card with Overwhelm with Adventure Support Trunks? Through its auto, choose 1 skillless battle card with 2 or less from your deck and play it. So again, it doesn't specify that you have to pay the cost. You literally just play the card. It is the same thing. you see what I'm going with this. So knowing this, it's actually pretty cool. It's a pretty balanced card at 15k in critical. It gives you a free like a free, whatchamacallit, a free threat. There you go. It gives you a Frieza's army target for Galactic Frieza, and with the Infernal Frieza that takes life and is a 1-drop, that's always cool. And now with all of the red support that's coming out for Frieza's army, Galactic Frieza is still going to be extremely good, or at least very much playable. A lot of cool support for it. And of course, this doesn't have a leader restriction, so you can kind of use it anywhere. As long as you have something that pops something, which for green, if you're playing green, you're gonna have something. And this is only one energy, green energy. So at the very least, you can just kind of splash it in for 4, right? You're gonna play that 4, right? Probably not. All right, let's go on to other announcements. So this one is about the Series 4 sealed release tournament. Basically, for this, they're just thanking all the countries that participate in the regional tournaments. A lot of cool stuff that happened this past year. In only a year and 4 months, we've managed to create an incredible community and bring joy and excitement around the world. I do agree. And it's not over yet. The French Championship is going to be held on the 15th, so that's pretty sweet. And yes, Bandai themselves were at Nationals Championships and witnessed the battles. Some of them already played them. They even gave a shout out to the first champion, Jordan Markle. So now you're forever on the website. Look at you. You go, boy. You go, boy. Give him a nice congratulations. So that's pretty cool. Wide variety of decks at Nats. Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah, 10 different leaders. Okay, that's pretty variety. It's pretty good variety. But they went on to say that we feel that the Class of Warfare can use a boost. And as such, we've decided to hold a Class of Warfare sealed tournament and new cards to support each color's super rares. So that's actually really, really cool. This is kind of out of left field. You know, they could have done set 3 instead of set 4. But I mean, you know, I think Class of Warfare was sort of like that really good mid-range or in the middle sort of set that made everything good. Still pretty damn awesome. And obviously they said we don't want it to be the strongest set, but it is just to promote diversity in the meta. And this is the best way to do it, because as soon as you strengthen an archetype, it does give more incentive for people to play different things and to experiment for different things. And this is 100% the right move for Bandai to make, and I am very appreciative to see this. So without further ado, just like they were saying, let's go over the cards. So these are obviously all promos. I'm gonna miss a few things as far as details go, because it's just not in picture format. I'm not used to it. But the first one is Baby Super Baby 1 Parasitic Minutes. That's cool. That's a really cool name, actually. This is the one that people are talking about over and over again, which has some good merit to it, because he is a 5 cost, 25,000 power, by the way. Combo power 5 with the 0 cost, 2 red, all very standard. But the thing is that he is an EX Evolve red baby with a cost energy 4. And basically this is the only target for that is going to be the same strength baby, which is awesome, because for him the baby Avengers Unleash is a 1-drop, and then after you use the same 1-drop or another Vegeta GT, if you want to do that, you can go ahead and get this guy out and then EX Evolve with the new 5-drop. And then when his auto goes off, because he does have double strike and 25,000 as well, when a card evolves into this card, draw 1 card and then choose one of your opponent's battle cards, it gets minus 5k for the duration of turn, and you can't play it for the duration of turn, which makes sense. If you could do this over and over again, it would be kind of annoying. So this card does choose up to one of their battle cards and draws your card, by the way, and it loses 20,000. So that's awesome. And then another 5,000. So you can probably clear a board, or at the very least get rid of a 25,000 threat on the board. And if you're playing baby leader, which you could do with this, or you could play Dr. Mew, simply because he plays out 1-drop machine mutants for free, and then you can use 1 energy in order to get this man out right after, because you'll have 2 on the board, and then you can absorb each other, and then get this guy out, and then EX Evolve right after. So that's still pretty cool. I guess theoretically you could do this on turn 1, right? I don't know. I don't play baby. I don't play Dr. Mew. I'm sure someone will correct me. But I think this overall is very cool, because the activate main with 1 red, you choose 1 baby with the energy cost of 6 from your hand and play on top of this card. And that means you can play this big bad boy instead of 4 energy, which was pretty costly back in the day, and even now. You can get a triple striker 30,000 big boy who can gain barrier, by the way, because he is still a Saiyan. He is still an ape, because you can still play Planet Vegeta if you really wanted to. This is not searchable by Planet Vegeta. I don't think it has the traits either, so we don't know, but still pretty cool that you can get him out turn 2. And this guy is just such an awesome card. I'm really glad to kind of see this get some support. So that's for the red. For the blue, Hurrigan, Premonition of Evil. This guy's a blocker. He has 20,000 power with 7 costs. The common power is 5, 0 costs, and he is blue with 1 blue. So obviously you're not going to be playing him for 7 because his permanent says if you want to have 1 or more copies of both and cards in your drop area and have a Phantom Demon and a whatever Phantom Demon card isn't in your battle area, you can play this card from your hand without paying its energy costs, and it gets 10,000 during your turn. So you're not going to be attacking him or attacking with him, but at the very least you can still evolve with the other one. And before I go to the other one and clarify that, so this is just sort of a placeholder. I do believe I do believe that the copies of whatever cards that they're talking about isn't here. It doesn't show here. So when the card is actually released and printed out, this is another reason why they have it like this instead of the actual card and the art for it. Which, by the way, if you haven't noticed, it's not here, but I'll kind of switch over to the one that has the art. Here we go. This one has the art over here, so this is most likely the art for all of these because we'll see all of them. This is the art for the baby. This is art for Hurrigan. This is art for Demigra, Piccolo, Goku. You get the idea. And now we have all the other Hurrigan cards, which Ectoplasm still applies to the 7-drop that we're now going to be getting. And then the EX Evolve for 4, which is still quite a lot. It does have that as a target, and you can get all these effects, which is still a pretty awesome card. It's just easier to get that 7-drop out. So with Blocker and Ectoplasm, not a bad card overall. I just wish this had Barrier like the other one. So we got Piccolo, the Cunning Strategist. So he is green. So this is the green support. He has 1 cost, 1 green, 3 costs, 5,000 power, 15,000 power, or combo power, 15,000 attack power. His auto is at burst 3, and you must place the 3 in the drop area. When you play this card from your hand, choose a 1 Namekian or Universe 7 card from your hand with an original energy cost of 4 or less, negate its skills for the duration of turn, and play it. This is an amazing card. I love this card. Like 3, that's nothing to play a 4 cost for free. And yes, I understand that the on auto play skills are going to be negated, but that doesn't mean that you can't just pass and get some really good value out of it. So let's just kind of take a look really quick at the Namekian sort of targets. So obviously you can play all this silver bullets and, you know, whatever, all this stuff, that's fine. But you can play Piccolo the Strategist. So if you pass, he has Barrier, and then you can activate main in order to KO something. That's awesome. The Focus Mind Piccolo, he becomes a barrier blocker, and then if you have 4 more energy, which you probably will at that point, he is a 20,000 barrier blocker on your turn or during their opponent's turn. That's awesome. Any of the 2-drops that draw you a card when it attacks, that's pretty cool. Any of the, I guess Lord Slug now has some support in order to do this, or to use him a little bit better, a little bit more. And then you can use Evolve for 2. That's not bad, I guess. Ready to Strike? That's not bad. Kami's Powered Piccolo? Now that's a good target right there. He is a Namekian and a god. And now we have all of the yellow Namekian support, which I don't think I skipped over anything else. I guess King Piccolo, that's not bad either. Which some of the SRs, by the way, for the yellow, we haven't even seen yet, so we don't even know if it's going to be better than that. So if you take a look at the Universe 7 4-drops, which I don't think this actually shows, so let's take a look at DBS decks instead. So the at all cost Vegeta is a good target. You know, so Discover Dynasty some Gohan, that's not too bad. You just don't get the swap to draw 2, but it is, you know, if you have 3 yellow energy, which you probably won't if you're playing that green Piccolo, you know, whatever. But the barrier blocker 17, you do lose out of the auto, and as well as this one to draw 1 and untap 1. But you still have a barrier blocker for 20k. Multiform Tien Shenhan, okay, why not? We do have Burst Attack Gohan, Energy Guard, Android 17, we do have a Focus Mind Son Gohan. We do have the other Son Gohan, but you probably wouldn't be playing that. You do have these guys, which again, you probably wouldn't be playing those. But the 4-drops in general, especially the Namekians, now that's some good stuff. Love this card. Not to say that these other cards aren't good. I just really like that one. And this one's awesome too. So this is yellow, 3 costs. So that's pretty appropriate. It is not a Child's Wish target, but it is a Saiyan because he is a Son Goku, so you can get him out with Shagesh. This is their way of, you know, you have to pay 3 yellow in order to actually play it, and then you actually have to play either Shagesh or pay 3 yellow basically, because the Child's Wish will not work with this guy. But he is a barrier. Swap 8, so in order to get the Height of Mastery or the secret rare out, that's pretty cool. You do need 7 sparking. So, alright then. So when you play this card, you choose up to 1 of your bonus battle cards and switch into rest mode and draw 1. So this is a really awesome way to keep it on the field and then support for the Secret Rare or Height of Mastery with 4 energy. And the fact that you can do that is just stupid. Yes, you do need the sparking 7, but if I'm playing Shenron swap, you know your boy is doing it, because this seems pretty awesome. Either way, this is awesome support for Lineage, and you know, I'm sure that Bardock and Goten may be touched one time or another as far as maybe some text changes, but if not, this is still good for its own archetype. And then lastly, Encroaching Darkness Demigra. So he's a 4 cost, 10k, 5k, combo power, no color cost because he's black, and he's an overwhelm for 4, all permanent. Demigra in your hand, gain energy cost of 7, gain Xeno Evolve for 3, and Demigra. So Temporal Darkness is going to be the target for this guy. This is really that's the only target really. But he does play out a battle card from your warp with an energy cost of 4. So for 3 energy, play out 2 cards, evolve, get a 30,000 attacker on the board. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Also, his auto is awesome because you can't play any non-black cards for the duration of the turn, and your opponent can't attack battle cards can't attack with battle cards with original power 10k or less until the end of their next turn. So like a Mafuba, basically they are prevented from actually attacking, and if you didn't notice, 10k or less, that targets swap slash storm, so that is another counter for it. Overall, very, very cool. I'm very excited. The top placer sleeve sets are actually not too bad. You do get 6 packs, by the way, if you didn't read it, and then you build a deck and then you can just play it. Everybody get a participation prize, so it's very interesting to see how this goes, and everybody's going to be wanting these promos. And if not, if you don't participate, even though they do come in 3 per pack, they might be a little bit expensive, but 6 packs of Colossal Warfare, I wouldn't mind it. I mean, it's not a bad thing to buy. Right now you can probably pick one up for about 40 bucks for a box, and they still have at all cost Vegeta and a lot of good other cards, especially Bardock. So not a bad thing to even consider, or not. It's not a bad thing to consider to do. There you go. Either way, let me know what you think about these cards. I love them. There's nothing that I don't like about this. Everything is right about this. And if there's not, let me know in the comments. Like, dislike, subscribe if you're new. I'll see you in the next one. Later.